We interrupt this Peachy Little broadcast with a message for our viewers at home. Rat City by Night is a 6-part Vampire the Masquerade miniseries from Game Master Monday. Content warnings include kidnapping, muggings, organized crime, vampire genre typical violence, death, mentions of blood, suicidal ideation, teenaged NPCs in violent situations, religious references, and of course, rats. Please take care of yourself and enjoy the show. Peachy LaRue, out.
Outside the greasy thimble, we see a long toy black limousine, headlights flashing brightly into the establishment. The teenager rat working the counter, just trying to take orders, ducking underneath the cashier's desk, illuminating the only 2 rats inside the establishment who are having lunch here, Peachy LaRue and Bellamy Rex. An appointment they did not know was scheduled has come to schedule them.
Ah, shit.
I think we're going to have to get a ratty bag.
Hey, Timmy, wrap this up.
And 2 small little pink ears pop up like, what?
Can you put this in a little ratty bag for us? We gotta take
2
it to
gentle paws come up and take your food as they go back under the desk. And then gently places 2 to-go bags on top, never showing their face.
go. Thanks, Tim. And I toss a couple of buttons his way.
Thank you, Mr. Rex. I hope you don't get killed.
So do I, Tim. So do I.
Peachy just bares her fangs a little at Bellamy. She's ready to fight.
A rat in a suit opens the car door and stands waiting outside, seeing what you will choose to do.
All right. What do we... I guess we probably shouldn't tell him about the whole plague rat thing. Yeah, right?
No. He couldn't handle that. You wouldn't believe us. He'd put us in a concrete block.
Yeah, but he's gonna find out his daughter's been turned one way or another.
I think we should just... well... we should tell him about Ali.
Yeah. All right. And we'll go and open one of the doors and kind of motion for Peachy to hop in first.
Greasy little sip into the side.
You once again see the outline of Giancarlo Lacerva. Before, when you saw him, you would say he was neutral but menacing. This time, the neutrality is not there. There is only a menacing aura in the car today, a rising steam of impatience. And Giancarlo says, I believe I've given you plenty of time to crack this, so I'd like an update. Where is my daughter?
Well, Mr. Lacerva, first of all, we want to say thank you for your patience with us as we work this case. It has taken many twists and turns, that's for sure. We do have a very solid lead on where your daughter is.
And that is?
We've been told that we might be able to find her in or around the Rat Cathedral. We don't know specific times or anything like that, but we someone who has seen her within the past week has given us very, very solid and I think it's good info. It's good info.
Well, isn't that just serendipitous? I do believe that I owe the Rat Cathedral a donation. Why, in fact, I believe I owe that tonight. So you're saying if I go there tonight, I will find my daughter, is that correct?
So, again, we've been given good information, not specific times, just a general location. There's a good chance you find her. But also, Mr.
Your
Lasilva.
daughter, she's fallen in with a bad crowd. Not of her own volition, I am to take it, but do you know of a rat called Ali?
No, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting this rat.
She's probably pretty new on the stage, but from what we know, she's about to make a pretty big stink. Things are going to change.
He snaps a little rat finger and the suitcase closes and he sits back and folds his arms, his snout flaring. And he goes, I am a busy man, a patient person for sure. But you are quickly hitting the ends of that patience. And I would like a complete answer without the dancing. Who is this rat? What is the stink? And what does this person know about Carmela? And if you don't know, perhaps the little trip to the asphalt might remind you. And he puts one hand on the door handle closest to where Peachy's sitting, and you feel like a little belt unbuckle.
Okay. Mr. Laserva, there's no need to be testy. It's just this information we're still actively processing, as we just learned earlier today. But from our understanding, Ali, as well as some plague rats, might be planning on overturning the current powers that be in the city.
Now, does that pertain to me or to Mayor Brisby?
To all of us.
And Peachy sits up. And at this point, she bares her fangs.
Jeez.
Oh, so you've got it then.
I did. One of the altos gave it to me.
Of course. It's always the fucking altos.
It's always the fucking altos, but they're not the only ones. See, Ali and the altos, not on the same page. There are, at the very least, two groups of people changing people for their own reasons and gains. Now, we don't believe that Ali is the cause of the specific disappearance of your daughter. But the altos, we have a reason to believe that one of the altos might know where your daughter is. And not just that. And I need you to, you're sitting, but please stay sitting and please stay calm. Was changed by your daughter.
So you mean to tell me I give you a week to find her, and the main thing you know is some other rat wants to topple everything I've built. The altos have a plague rat in their family, and my own daughter has the plague?
Not just has the plague, sir.
She is the plague.
He takes his hand off the door handle, removes that threat there. There is briefly a look of sadness on his face that quickly vanishes. Has the look in his eye that only a businessman who has just developed a sinister idea can only have. And he folds his arms and says, Carmela's a plague rat. Interesting. Hey, Peachy. This is going to be a little bit of an interview here, but have you noticed any changes in your body in the past week or so?
Cue photorealistic SpongeBob cutout to Peachy's very greasy, little wrinkly self.
A couple of changes. I can sense other plague rats for the most part when they try to hide. I ate someone's pet cockroach. I can hear real good, better than usual.
He holds a small paw up, like a little finger extended, and says, "You can sense them?"
In a way.
So let me be clear then. You, being plagued and such, having died and come back if the papers are saying the right things, can sense other plague rats when they're nearby. And you mean to tell me my daughter, as a plague rat, could potentially have this ability? And furthermore, there's a plague rat in the Altos?
Peachy nods.
I think the floodgates are already open at this point, but like Bellamy is in the chair. Like I need us to imagine Bellamy in the chair, gripping hard at the at the faux leather sheets, like realizing, oh no, this is bad.
This is even better than I could have hoped for. I thank you, detectives. And he gestures to a rat. This one is clearly not Meatball. This seems to be a different one. And he says, please give them their reward. In fact, can you signal to our financial team that I think a second and third briefcase might be in order for the detectives at their new residence should they choose to accept it? And like he has this like small little like tiny Polaroid of just some really nice places in Rat City, hinting that you may have your pick of the litter. You see, I too have an issue with how things are run around here, having to constantly hide in the shadows, start these organizations and businesses. Having a daughter with those incredible abilities, well, that's just really interesting. Could take out the Altos, could take out the Ollie, whatever that is. Could really exercise some newfound muscles in Rat City.
Looking at these photographs and the riches, it feels like this is going to come back and bite us.
Sir, if I may,
I
would like to make an offer of my own.
Interesting. I've given you and he like kind of tries to soften the gravel he gets when he's in this condition, when he's in this mood. I've made you a very interesting compensatory offer, so what could you be offering me?
Power?
And Peachy is going to lift her little pink wrist to her mouth, bite it, like the way she saw the plague rat who infected her. And that dark Icarus blood is going to leak down the side, and she's just going to offer out her wrist.
A taste. And you can see what it's like to be a plague rat.
How do I know she's telling the truth? That this isn't gonna plague me or poison me or something?
I don't know how any of this works, I'm gonna be honest, but if there's one thing I know about Peachy, she wouldn't hurt a fly. Only a flea.
I guess if I am to utilize Carmela's gifts, I should understand them myself. There is a logic here. Grabs your wrist, maybe harder than he should, and he pulls it closer. And he's like looking it over and goes, I'm gonna let my companion here know that if anything funny happens to me, that's the end of your detective agency. You understand?
Crystal!
Bene. And he just licks it off of your wrist. And then he sits back and like he's waiting for something to happen.
The rat who did this to me, one of the Altos, obnoxious sort. I don't know if that narrows it down, but he also drank some of my blood, so I don't think you're plagued, but I don't know, try lifting something?
It was good though.
Peachy just holds her wrist to herself.
Weirdly good. Try lifting something, huh? Well, let's see. and he reaches for the car door near you again, Peachy, and he just like slams it open, and it's very quickly apparent that the whole door is now in his hand, and you are exposed to the elements, clutching onto the seat so you don't fall out. Yeah, I think it works pretty quick there, Miss LaRue.
I think Bellamy's just like nervously like chuckling to himself watching all of this happen, as like this is fucked. This is such a wild situation to have found myself in. Watching probably my only friend, who slowly turned into a monster after 4 days that I was isolated away from them. Maybe turning the head of the mob into a monster, as well as I also know that multiple factions within this community, including this one, all are about to just start fighting in the streets for power. All of this is bad.
What else can we do?
I don't know.
This is interesting. Driver, please pull over. And the car comes to a stop. He lets go of the door. It clambers onto the ground, and he goes, I am very appreciative of your services. I will be heading to the Cathedral tonight to retrieve my daughter. And if she's not there, then I will tear the city apart to find her. I would strongly recommend, due to your now established connection to me and whoever this Ollie person is, that you lay low. But trust me, your living accommodations, your financial situation is going to be much improved. Thank you again. We look forward to your future services should they be needed.
Peachy tips her scarf.
Bene.
Sounds good. Takes a cigarette out.
With the car speeding off, our detectives are now left with a choice. The leader of the Lacerva family, now with a taste of power, heading towards the Cathedral, heading towards what you can only surmise as Carmela and possibly the other rats responsible for the cases you investigated. You have a potential run-in with the mayor being led by Ali Manas, and you also have the option to bow out of this story, your role having been played inside of it. As you listen to your moral compasses, your heightened senses, Peachy, as you stand there in the middle of the street near 7th and Banana, what do you do?
I know for certain that we can't... I don't know what he's gonna do, but we can't let Ali turn this whole city into plague rats.
I don't think what he is planning is going to be much better, Peachy. For everything Ali was saying about making this city, making this world a place for plague rats. Honestly, seeing the way she talked about it, and seeing the way Lacerva was talking about it, they seem like two sides of the same coin to me. Both of them just want control, even if it means they gotta kill people to get it. And the plague rats they make along the way, they're just tools. Tools being used for that.
Let's make sure they kill each other then.
I think turns to look at you a little bit surprised in the direction that took. That doesn't feel like the Peachy I know.
Peachy looks almost predatory. Her fingers are steepled, her features sharp, her fangs protruding, probably still covered in her own blood.
We should shadow him to the cathedral. And if Ali's there, if Carmela's there, we'll make sure it ends without too much blood. I've had had enough bloodshed.
Okay. Yeah. We can't let this city go to the plague.
Oh. What brings you all back to the cathedral?
Why are you saying it like that? You told us we were always welcome.
You are,
Right?
of course. I had recommended you come visit more often, but I have not seen ear nor tail of you.
Well, the situation's been changing a little bit out in the city. I'm sure you've seen the reports about plague rats and about missing people, and, well, I feel like we all went a little missing, so...
It is concerning to see these reports. I do not understand the distrust of being reunited with those we care for.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Do you want some pie?
Pie?
Yeah. And I hold up the box and I open it up so you can see. Baked
Why-
fresh this morning.
Why, thank you. In fact, I am a little peckish. He just starts eating it like an animal would. He's a rat. Lots of paws, lots of swiftness and speed being put into the mouth.
Mathias, I feel like we're avoiding the point a little bit here. It's not about this, reuniting of people with their lost ones. It's that there are people going missing and staying missing. And that's concerning.
I have held these concerns.
But you don't hold them anymore?
No, I do. I am hearing reports and seeing reports of those who are missing that have not been brought to our doorstep.
And?
It puzzles me.
So you're saying that you don't know what's happening to them.
I'm gonna have you make a roll there, Barry. You have had a long relationship with this particular rat, and I'm going to have this be your charisma mixed with either persuasion or intimidation.
What I would love to happen as Barry is kind of asking these questions, I would love Carmela to kind of slowly saunter up and just stroke her little rat and be like, there's one or two ways this could go down. You could tell us these answers and we could pick your brain. Or, all these rats, they could be running loose, they could be running amok, and these problems can find their way right to your doorstep. Which we don't want that to happen now, do we? Could be mighty messy.
You may add 2d10 to your roll there, Barry.
Great. I will go ahead and use intimidation because of the how we're doing this, which gives me an additional 0 die to this roll.
So thank you,
that's-
Carmela.
Charisma is 3 plus 2, so 5 total die being rolled. 4 of them are red.
I'm looking for at least 2 successes.
We got 3 successes, no crits.
No crits, 3 successes. Barry, how do you impose your will further on Mathias Templeton, knowing you have the support of a known mafiosa behind you?
I think that Barry is doing almost like a good cop, bad cop routine here of just like, hey, we just want this information, and the easiest way to get it is for you to just tell us. Carm here works in her own ways, and I work in mine, so who do you want to deal with?
There is a newfound stoicness. It's a fake stoicness. It's an imitation of stoicness. And he attempts to be firm here. And he says, I have given you what I... And his eye, for a moment, glances off to the side, looking at something on the floor somewhere, but only for a moment. And because you know this is not who Mathias tends to be, you are able to pick up on that subtle drifting. And he comes back and says, I do have worries of the perception of those of the Second Life, and I do hold concern in my heart for those who are missing, who are not brought here, because I fear the worst. But this talk of infighting and clashing families and a resistance towards those who only seek to protect, I cannot stand idly by.
So what are you doing?
I keep the doors open. I offer safe harbor for those who have been deemed a plague when I know that they are not sick.
While all of this is going on, while Barry and Carmela are advancing on Mathias and getting information, Anand is kind of walking around the cathedral, like touching walls, looking for hidden doors, and maybe notices the spot on the floor.
I'm gonna have you make intelligence and stealth, but I'm also going to say that given how hard it is to find what you're looking for, I would like at least 4 successes.
Can I also add my heightened senses to this?
Since you said you would prioritize answers over being hidden, I will say yes, you may use your heightened senses, make an intelligence and investigation roll, and then you can add that to your roll. I am still looking for a 4.
Okay. I got 6 successes with a messy crit.
You start touching the walls, looking for any secret. You caught that glance, and a voice starts ringing through your head, a voice you have not heard since you were in your younger days, something you would have heard through the floorboards or the walls of where you called home in Ratsfield. But it starts booming through your mind. There's nothing quiet about it at all, and it simply demands,
tear this place apart. The answer is here. Stop being coy. Shred it to pieces. You can now. You can now.
And I do.
For the rest of the rat party, you see Anand ripping the rat cathedral, brick by brick, striking at the floor, hitting anything they can think of. The usually intelligent and calculating engineer you know has flown into a barrage of scratches, claws, crumbling stones, and Mathias can only look in horror, opening his mouth, can't even make a sound to come out of it.
I think I'm specifically like trying to grab at that spot on the floor and like find the grooves and lift it up.
You hear the smallest, most hesitant, please, from Mathias, but maybe you don't hear it. Maybe it never lands. Maybe it's like whispering in the Grand Canyon. You won't hear it for several hours. And then eventually you find a wooden door with a latch made of metal.
What have we here?
You hear a shriek, a feminine shriek, and then a figure recoil into the shadows, and you see a recently deceased, perhaps, rat laying face up on the floor, blood starting to trickle out of its mouth.
I think that Barry's immediately gonna scurry over to the. I don't know if it's a body yet, but I'm gonna go run over and check on her.
Barry, you peer into this hole in the ground, this secret room. It's not a glamorous setup, whatever is down there. The floor seems to be scattered with various leaves and straw, things to fabricate the illusion of softness. There is a very clear shadow that is cast down by the floor itself, acting as if it's a ceiling for this room. But none of that really matters to Barry Sunderson right now. Carrying a large amount of hunger in you, all you see is this defenseless, bleeding, clinging desperately to what little remains of its life rat. And I will need you to make a willpower roll.
That's straight up 5 successes.
Then you are able to look beyond the pale, if you will. Though you can feel your soul itself gurgling, what would you be looking for instead in here?
I think that Barry scurries in, and the first thing that he's gonna do is flip her over. The first thought in his mind is this Tucker? I think that Barry rushes over and just tries to lift her out of the ground and set her in a pew. And I think that as he goes in and goes to scoop her, he pauses and he's he starts to his mouth gets wet. He starts to drool a little bit as he smells the blood and sees all this right in front of him. He didn't realize how hungry he had gotten.
You hear a voice in your head. A voice in your head, the drool coming to your mouth, the smell, the overwhelming hunger. And you hear Nikolai, the person who's always watched out for your well-being, the voice coming through saying, I worry about you, you need to eat. And you just haven't been lately. And so here you are with a meal, why don't you just eat?
I think Barry licks his lips and thinks back at the voice. I've been watching my figure, thank you. And is literally going to scoop her up, and as soon as she's set down and safe, he backs away. He quickly backs away to put more distance between them.
You put a bleeding body in the pews, and Matthias rushes over and it's just checking it to be what are you? No, this is not. Put this back. They need help. What are you doing? Removing them from.
Is that what you think this is? You think this is help?
Are you collecting parishioners, Matthias?
This will be given a second life. This rat can live again.
How did the first one end, Matthias? What happened to her?
The same way any rat life would end. An unfortunate accident. Aging. What always does us in, I suppose, our own fragility. We are not a species built for longevity, Mr. Sunderson. Yourself, a notable exception in a long history of being overlooked, being rejected, being in a society not built for us. Our chances are better in Rat City, but there is always its dangers. And the saint, in their infinite wisdom, has sensed the increasing danger in our town and is bringing those who are victim of it back here to extend the lives brutally cut short. Look at your friends. All of them could have met their end far too early in their life, and they were given another one. You yourself, even though prepared to die, the saint saw something else in you. Look at you now, even trying to save this one. This is why you are given these gifts. Why do you need to know where they come from? Just use them.
Where do you think this ends? You're going to give every rat immortality. You're going to overextend everyone's lease on this city. Then what do we have? We have more and more and more and more rats. I don't see us getting more food. I don't see us getting more space. I don't see us getting more places to live. We are all here to be temporary. We're here to set things up. We're here to enjoy ourselves and live our lives and then respectfully bow our heads as we leave. You think that having everyone here forever is going to make things better?
I don't deign to know the will of the saint. All I know is I'm here to shepherd them towards their inevitable sainthood.
Speaking of the saint, I am advancing on the figure in the cellar.
You advance closer, and you hear this faint voice from the shadows just saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Please don't come any closer, please.
Who are you?
There isn't an answer. You get the sense that whoever this is was told not to give this information. There is a hesitation that was not present when they were pleading.
Anand will reach into the darkness where this figure is and pull them out.
Well, that's going to be met with some resistance.
I'm gonna rouse the blood so that I get fluent strength. I use fluent strength to get a advantage on rousing the blood, which it means I'm not gaining a hunger. That gives me 4 dice total, 2 of which are hunger dice. And that is 2 successes.
You reach through the shadows to grab this figure, and you do. And when you pull them out, you are not met with the image that you would maybe hold in your mind for a saint. Not an epic hero, not the weaver of miracles, not someone you would expect to be etched in stained glass. Instead, you find a young girl. Tears in her eyes and blood on her mouth, but does not look like she was able to complete her meal.
Anand locks eyes with this young rat. She reminds him of his own sisters that he's left behind in Ratsfield. And I think he crouches a little bit. What's your name?
I'm not supposed to say.
How did you end up here?
I'm not supposed to say.
Who told you that you're not supposed to say?
She just kind of points up.
And what if he doesn't have your best interests in mind?
No one does. I'm here so I don't hurt people.
Sometimes we hurt people even when we try to help them.
I just want to be left alone, if you don't mind.
I do mind. I'm sorry. Do you recognize me?
She just looks up, and like you can see there's like tears in her eyes, and she just nods.
You are hungry. And this is the only way to sate your hunger. Is that right?
I've been really trying to only focus and find people who were already hurt. And then I figured out how to bring them back, so I just have been, because I felt bad. I didn't want to have to do this. And in no uncertain terms, Barry, after hearing a longer answer and you trying to get anything out of Mathias, you do recognize the voice of Tucker Flynn. At which point, I'm going to briefly pull us away from the cellar, Barry, Pidge, and Carmela all upstairs. Barry, you recognize that voice. Mathias still trying to explain himself, just sounding like muffled nonsense in your ears now. A voice you've heard in your own home for several months of your life.
And I think Barry begins running towards the opening and just calls out into the floor. Tucker? Tucker, is that you?
Just looks up and says, I'm really sorry, Mr. Sanderson. I shouldn't have done what I did to you.
Oh, child, no. I think Barry, for the longest time, has been suspicious that this what happened. He kind of knew already that this is what he was going to find. And it doesn't make it hurt any less to be proven right. And I think Barry just hops down and makes his way over to Tucker. Your family's missed you, kid.
I know. I keep looking in the window.
Sounds like you are too, from the outside.
Barry, you have been proven right. The suspicion you always had, now present before you, an undeniable fact. Coupled with the undeniable fact that Mathias Templeton knew the entire time who the Saint was, and never revealed the information. I would like for you to roll against going into a frenzy. This will be a willpower roll if you so choose, or you can simply choose to ride the wave.
I think that being faced with Tucker down here, Barry, I'm absolutely going to ride it. He kneels down to Tucker and takes her hands in his and says, "This should never have been put upon you. You've had to make choices that no one, especially not a child, should have to make. Let the grown-ups handle this." And I'm going to take her hands and I'm going to pull them up and have her cover her own ears. And then I'll hop back out onto the first floor.
As soon as your paws hit the stone of the Rathedral floor, you hear Nikolai one more time.
Of course, we're not mad at Tucker. She couldn't have known. But we are mad.
Barry turns to Mathias. When I first came to you, I asked if you were lying to me. What did you say?
I had to protect her, Barry.
So you lied to me twice. we're going to go ahead and start off with his prowess. I'm going to roll a rouse check. And then for the remainder of the scene, I'm going to add the potence rating of the user, me, to my unarmed damage, as well as feats of strength. And then I'm going to beat the shit out of Matthias. Yeah, I think that Barry just like gets down on all fours, essentially. He almost as like a wrestling stance. He gets low to the ground and then just charges forward, spears into Matthias, and it's just gonna start pounding him into the ground in front of all of our saints.
Roll your rouse check for me.
Unsurprisingly, it's a 4. I fail. I'm at 5 hunger.
An anger, a hunger, a betrayal riling inside of you. You lose vision, seeing only red, and eventually seeing only red as the rest of you, Tucker shielded by Anan in the cellar, but as the damage is dealt, Mathias Templeton would not be recognizable if someone who knew him were to walk in right now.
While I'm already here, can I feed on him?
Yeah, you can.
Cool. Can I take 5?
I can think of no better person to do that on. You sink your teeth in and you do not stop until all of the hunger in you is satiated. While you're doing this, it would be obvious to Tucker what is happening now. Her own heightened senses, hearing and starting to thrash in Anan's arms with the ears covered, but it is of course not going to be any use. You drink until you stop hearing the ticking and the heartbeat inside of Mathias Templeton.
And I think once Barry has finished drinking from him, he like staggers back up to his feet and looks down at his work and says, "Congratulations. This is what you wanted."
Mel is just going to slowly shut the doors to the cathedral and lock it. And it's ashes to ashes time, baby. And we are going to dispose of all the evidence of the body. Someone get the kid. Make sure the kid is not seeing any of this.
I think Barry also kind of looks down at like the entire front of himself, just like dripping blood, and says, I think it might be better for one of you to handle that, I think.
Are you okay?
I don't think so.
Barry, you remember the do you have a painting in your house that's your favorite?
Yes, I do.
What does it look like? Can you describe it to me?
Yeah, I think a couple of months after Nikolai and I started dating, we went to a carnival, and they had like a caricature artist that was working there who you could go and he would paint you, but he'd make you look worse. So we got there, and a painting. It's of me and him. We're standing in front of one of those games where you throw little darts at balloons, and I've got big old ears, and he's got He's got teeth that like come down to like almost his stomach.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I had different glasses back then. They were kind of like a half moon thing. I just needed them for reading.
Well, I want you to think about that painting for just a little bit, okay? While we get things sorted out here. Just think about Nikolai's face and your glasses and how big your ears are and how long his teeth are.
Yeah. This we both look so dumb. It hangs in our bedroom.
You just think about that painting and how you're gonna come back and go see it real soon.
Right. Yeah. And I think Barry kind of like slumps back a little bit.
Barry, as you talk with Pidge and you consider the ramifications and you look down at your torso, your worker's apron covered in the blood of someone you called friend for so many months, hell, maybe even a year, it dawns on you that in the violent turmoil of what occurred, you would not have come out of this unscathed. You will take 4 aggravated damage as a result of your agonizing empathy.
I am the voice of the world of darkness coming through the void. Barry, there are chronicle tenets and personal convictions that we all discussed and agreed to and decided on that are what maintains your gratitude in this world. What has happened, regardless of which ones are violated, this act of violence, whether we decide that Tucker was a witness to it or not, never expose young people to violence. However, Barry has the personal conviction of preserving joy in all its forms. What has happened here justifies 2 stains to your gratitude track. And in the interest of this being a mini-series, I think let's make a remorse roll now instead of waiting for the end of the night. Remind me what your gratitude started at?
I have 8.
So that would block out both of your open, unfilled circles. But regardless of that, you always get to roll 1. So roll me 1d10, and on a 6 or higher, you feel enough remorse to maintain your gratitude. On a 5 and lower, you lose a point of gratitude.
That would be a 4.
How does Barry's beast convince him that this was the right thing to do?
The argument that Beast Nikolai makes in the back of this act is preserving joy of the future. Like, we're protecting people from things that haven't happened yet. And by taking Mathias off the board, we're preemptively stopping him from hurting anybody else the way that he has Tucker.
Anand, you are currently in the cellar with Tucker Flynn, whose disposition and demeanor has shifted. There is a well of tears flooding from her. This is a person who has made it clear they do not want to hurt, but felt a need and thought they were doing something right, and has been shielded from information and the city at large by the person who has become no more than another meal for a plague rat up above. You are now met with this opportunity to help someone who, for who knows how long at this point, has not been helped.
Tucker.
Uh-huh.
That's your name?
Uh-huh.
You're okay.
I'm not.
You know Baba? You know Baba Barry?
Yeah.
Okay. Tucker, how did this happen to you?
You can see her getting emotional. She's like, I ran away. I went up top. And this giant in a field just grabbed me, and I got it just rubs her neck, but I got away and I ran back home. But when I got back, I was just so hungry, and then I started hurting people. So I figured if what happened to me is what made me like this to be still alive, then maybe the same thing would work on my friend.
On your friend?
You have to find Ollie.
Who's Ollie?
Ollie's the first person I gave the life to. And I think they figured it out. Whenever I go out there, I see her feeding rats. And I think all the things that have been going on are us causing it.
Tucker, at some point, not right now, but soon, we'll have to wrestle with the right thing to do. But
I don't even know what it is anymore. I don't even think I'm supposed to be here.
I know, but I want you to know that you did your best and you did what you thought was right at the time. And you can't blame yourself.
Yeah, I can. I shouldn't have run away. I should have just been happy here.
Do you know how many rats run away? Little ratlings run away all the time. It's just a part of growing up. I ran so far away from home, I ended up in a completely different city.
And now you're like this.
And we'll figure out what that means. But you don't have to hide in this basement anymore.
I don't think I can anyway.
Do you want to go home? Do you want to see your parents?
She just shrugs.
Okay, then we don't have to rush to do that.
I think I just need a minute to think about stuff. But if you're trying to, and I think you have to be because you found me, I think it's Ollie.
I understand.
You have to feed them blood. And it has to be yours. That's how I do it. All of you have a part of me in you, and that's why you're alive.
Okay.
If other people like us figure that out, then the whole city could wind up like us.
A tsunami of blood.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll figure it out together. Come, I have an apartment it's safe, or we can go to the pie shop. I know food doesn't really help now, but just somewhere you can sleep that isn't this cellar.
You haven't figured it out yet, huh? We don't need to sleep anymore. We're just like this now. There's nowhere we can go that's going to be like this. I'm not here because I got locked away. I'm here because I chose it. The only place I could think to go was here. This is where I'm staying. What you and Baba and the others do, I want nothing to do with it.
Tucker, you want to stay here?
I think I need to stop turning people.
Do you want to keep living like this, Tucker?
No. But I have no choice. I've been hurt, I've been hit, I've been bit, I've been attacked. But every time I can bring someone here and fix them. So I don't know what happens to us anymore. I don't know if we even can die. I don't know if I want to. I don't know what I want. I knew what I wanted when I ran away, and it wasn't this. So stop thinking that you're gonna save rats. The only thing you can do is stop the bleeding, if anything. And I don't know how to get to her anymore. I haven't tried to see her since I did what I did.
We'll find Ollie. And there is a part of me that really wants to see if I can break her neck.
Greetings, Ratsketeers. It's me, your storyteller Grant, and I'm here to tell you about some cool shit happening this week, starting with our friends over at Goblets and Gays. In the mood for tragic lesbians and Arctic horror? You're a Game Master Monday fan, so I assume you must be. Check out Goblets and Gays Sooth Warden's 2-Shot, premiering this Wednesday, June 3rd. Sooth Wardens is a diceless, luckless game about magically linked monster hunters protecting the world from otherworldly creatures. It's currently crowdfunding on BackerKit, so follow the link in the description and go support that game, and then check out Goblets and Gays for an example of play. And if I may editorialize for a moment, I'm a big fan of Sooth Wardens. We've run it here on Game Master Monday on our Twitch with Alyssa, the GM of Goblets and Gays' 2-Shot, also heading that particular mini-series. Check it out on Twitch, check out Goblets and Gays on Wednesday, and then go support Sooth Wardens at the link in the description. While I have you here, today is June 1st, which means it is the first day of International Pride Month, a month dedicated to celebrating the achievements, lives, and most importantly, freedoms of the queer community. And while we at Game Master Monday are certainly no strangers to queer storytelling, we are a queer majority show after all, and I did just do an ad read that used the phrase tragic lesbians, and you've heard Rat City. But we do still recognize the importance of Pride Month and what it stands for. The sacrifices made by the activists and people who came before us to ensure and enshrine this month in the public discourse and give it the recognition it so richly deserves. So, to celebrate Pride Month, we are going to be giving you a full month of 100% queer content during the course of June. All of our GMs, players, and even the game designers whose products we feature this month are 100% made by folks who identify as queer. And I'm going to tell you about one of them right now. Join us for our first live stream going up tonight as Dusty Hill from Goblets and Gays guides us through Viva La Queer Bar. Step inside the Cozy Board, a queer-friendly game shop filled with fun titles, interesting patrons, and a gay-as-hell staff with plenty to talk about. Viva la Queer Bar, the next Game Master Monday Live one-shot, is guided by Dusty Hill, starring Blue from Batty Bards, Kim from 5GMs in a Trenchcoat, Mags from Streaming Rainbow, Tori from Afterplay, and Game Master Monday's own co-producer and co-GM, Taz. This will be a charity stream benefiting Dem Boys, an organization providing charitable financial assistance to trans masculine people of color for access to gender-affirming surgery. Check out our socials for how you can donate to this wonderful cause on our Blue Sky and Threads pages. That again is Viva la Queer Bar, going live tonight, June 1st at 7 p.m. Pacific Time on twitch.tv/Game Master Monday. We hope to see you there. We've got plenty more coming this month, including 2 Pride one-shots from our co-GM Zoop here on the podcast, a little 2-part mini-series from Hector, aka Okami, over at House of Dreams, but I'll tell you more about those next week. Because for now, I'm sure you're just itching to get back to the rest of Rat City by Night. We pan over to Barry sitting in a pew, having regained his composure, now acutely aware of the fact that Tucker Flynn is in the basement of the Rathedral with Anand watching over them. The deed completed. Barry, what do you do?
I think Barry is going to hop back down into the hole that he found Tucker in earlier, and is just going to walk down and sit down beside her and just kind of reaches over. I'm sorry you had to be around for that.
So that's it then, right? He's just gone now?
Yeah, he is. It's weird. I feel like I knew Mathias for his entire life. And at the same time, it feels like I didn't know him at all.
He was the only person who really, I don't know if was looking out for me is the right word, but I didn't know where else to go, after it happened.
Of course.
Now I don't know where to go after this.
I don't know either. It only makes sense to return to the Rathedral. That's everyone's welcome here, as he always says. But you've been left without many real choices left, haven't you?
All I really have known how to do is run around and change rats, and I've been hating it. I don't like having to do this just to not feel hungry, It's just... And I'm sorry that I had to do it to you, especially.
I think Barry's jaw clenches a little bit at that. You were just doing what you thought you needed to survive. And that's all any of us are doing.
What do I do next? I can't stay here, obviously.
You can't.
Anywhere I go, I'm gonna have to keep doing what I'm doing. And I don't want anyone to actually die, so Would I just keep feeding them blood and making people's lives worse?
No, I don't think that's an option either. Believe me when I say that I've put a lot of thought into this, and this was my plan as well, which is sometimes when you've played your role, it's time to leave the stage. And if that's what you think would be best, I can escort you there.
I think Anand can tell that Tucker is somebody to Barry, and with his eyes basically communicates that he's on the same page. But he says to Barry, "You don't need to be here for that."
I know I don't need to, but the person that you fed on was someone who was in an accident that you helped. And I killed Mathias already.
I think if Barry is standing behind Tucker, maybe with his hands on her shoulders, Anna kneels in front of Tucker and takes her hands and says, "You know, Tucker, I came to Rat City fairly recently from Ratsfield, and my journey here, I got to see several beautiful places. And Tucker, can you imagine with me a large body of water farther than you could even dream of sailing? A perfect blue. The sky above it. Just a deep, deep indigo, but little pricks of light. They call them stars, but I don't know what they are. And little green stepping stones. And imagine with me that you're stepping onto one of these green boats and floating out. Do you feel it? The wind?
Yeah.
And Anand will nod at Barry.
And I think Barry leans in and says, "Safe travels," before snapping her neck.
Tucker Flynn falls lifeless to the ground in front of you, having gone out with pleasant thoughts and memories probably something she was not accustomed to prior to this moment. You two now standing alone with each other in the basement of the Ratthedral.
We know that in this world it is held that you should never expose young people to violence. In this case, what's in question is whether this was aiding Tucker Flynn. Another tenet that our world has agreed upon is to always aid other rats in need. And I believe the determination of whether this will inflict a stain upon your gratitude is personal. Our world rules sometimes come into conflict with your personal rules, but sometimes your personal rules are the answer. Barry, you have your personal conviction. You chose two. To preserve joy in all its forms, and to love thy neighbor as thyself. And I believe it is the second one here that answers your internal conflict. You do not gain a stain from this act, for it is what Barry would have want to have done for himself. Anand, you have a simpler personal conviction, but it is phrased differently. Care for your neighbor. Tucker Flynn was 6 months old. Her life has been cut short, inarguably. Even though she did already die, it was very young. And you know that you don't need to kill someone. You don't need to turn somebody else into a plague rat in order to feed your hunger. Anand knew that. Anand has not killed somebody in feeding his beast. I'm going to have you take a stain on your gratitude, and as we did before, we will be making your remorse roll immediately. Because your gratitude was at 8, that should leave 1 empty circle. So you are going to roll 1d10. On a 6 or higher, you feel enough remorse to maintain your gratitude. On a 5 and lower, you lose a point of gratitude.
I have to be honest about my dice roll. It was a 7. Anand wishes that he could have found a way to have saved Tucker from the situation that she found herself in, and the inability, he doesn't feel like he's done right by her because he feels that he failed in protecting her from ever entering into this situation. And he closes her eyes and looks at Barry. I don't know that this was right.
It wasn't. None of this is right. We're just here to clean up now.
Moving away from the basement, a body disposed of, evidence removed of the goings-on above the basement of the Ratthedral, we turn our mind's eye to you, Pidge, the other 3 with a clear job and a clear duty. Where do we find you in the midst of all of this mess?
I think Pidge is just standing there, watching all of this, feeling entirely overwhelmed in this Ratthedral with all the yelling and the fighting. Barry looking so broken. And I think that this is the first time that I really think about how this is what my life is gonna be like now. All these secrets. This thing I can't control. This hunger in me. Hurting the people I care about. Or really trying not to. And I look over at Carmela. And she's surrounded by all these lit candles and the stained glass. And how it warms the color of her fur and how soft she is, and she looks so resplendent. Meaning shining brightly or brilliantly, characterized by a glowing splendor, dazzling, splendiferous, glorious or lovely. She looks so beautiful. My best friend. My favorite rat. My Carmela. And I think, what are the odds that in all of this, that we'd be going through it together? You know, that she'd still be with me. And so I move over to her. And when I get there, I realize that I've been clasping my paws real tight in front of me. And I just say, everything's kind of messed up, huh?
Carmela will give a little kind of wry chuckle and be like, yeah, pretty fucked up. But at least we got each other.
Would you wanna, when we go home, would you, I don't really want to be by myself, and I was thinking, I was hoping maybe, you want to stay at my place tonight?
Yeah, I would like that. But look,
Okay.
Pidge, I gotta tell you something. And I think this is the first time Carmela has kind of let that confidence drop a little bit. And she'll find it briefly as she starts this next sentence. Pidge, you've never really asked anything of me. You all those months ago, you never asked my name, not my past, not the blood on my paws or the weight it carries with it. You've always just looked at me like I was something good, like I was a rat worth believing in. Do you have any idea how that feels? I've spent my whole life being fire, burning through everything I touch, everything I love, because that's what I was raised to do. That's what I was raised to be, what I was made to be. And you never tried to put me out. You've always stood just close enough to feel the warmth. But I'm getting carried away. What I need you to do, I need you to hear me. I need you to really listen to me here. I visited you. The night I was turned, I visited you. They told me not to, and I didn't listen, and I shouldn't have. I was so hungry, Pidge, and all I could think about was you, and I just wanted to make sure you were okay, and all I could think about when they took me was you. And I was on your scaffolding, I was on your fire escape, and I was so hungry. And I'm the reason you're the way you are. And I'm sorry.
What? No, calm. That's you.
Listen, I'm sorry.
You. Oh. Oh. Okay.
But
Look,
no,
you
don't try to
didn't.
excuse it. Let me finish. And you can take as much time to let it sink in. But what happened? What I did to you? I'm gonna carry that for the rest of whatever life, whatever second life, whatever afterlife, whatever the fuck this is, whatever you want to call it, whatever they've been calling it. But whatever we have, not because I regret you. I could never regret you, but I was supposed to protect you. I was supposed to be the one place you were safe. I was supposed to protect the family. And instead, I was the thing that didn't. I was the thing that changed you. I was weak. I was selfish. I was overwhelmed by how much I was overwhelmed by how much I love you. And I didn't stop. And Carmel's gonna look down a little bit painfully, almost kind of just filled with shame, just trying to find her next words as if she'll find it on the floor in front of her, looking around. But while she's looking around trying to find these words, she'll find a little bit of a smile as it starts to find her lips as she'll start looking at you, Pidge. But look at you. Even now, you're still you. You're still soft. You're still kind. You still somehow make the world feel lighter by just standing in it. You don't even realize it, do you? You walk into a room and everything gets brighter. Like the dark has to actually make room. It has to make space for you. Like it has to grow legs and actually move out of it the damn way because you're standing there. Pidge, you make Rat City the brightest place in the world just by being here. You're the best thing this world has. The best thing I have. No more losing control. If I burn, I want it to be for you. I want to keep you warm, and I want to shield you. I want to light the way when everything else goes dark. I don't want to hurt you. Not again. So, if you'll let me, if you can still stand to look at me after everything that I just said, well, I want to spend some time proving that, me loving you doesn't have to be as destructive as I kind of just made it. That I can be more than, well, what life has made me to be. That I can be someone worthy of you. Because you're already everything worth believing in.
Carm would have seen the entire time that she was talking Pidge's face change from confusion to denial to incredulousness to anger to surprise. And then by the end, just sadness. And she's quiet for a minute before she says, I'm so sorry. That you had to carry all of that. This shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have happened to you. It shouldn't have happened to me, or to Barry, or to Anand, or Tucker. But we don't get to choose the things that happen to us. You know, not those kinds of things anyway. But what we do get to choose is who we want around us as we figure out what to do next. And I think that that's a stronger thing, you know, because it's intentional. It's not reactionary, or it's not chance. I think that's the stronger kind of family, the ones that you choose. Because you gotta work hard, and you gotta keep choosing them, even when they hurt you, or if you hurt them, or things get confusing. You wake up every day and you choose them. You know, this, and I gesture around us, I didn't get to choose that. But this, and I reach out and I take your paw. This I get to choose. I mean, I've been choosing you since the first day I met you. I want to keep choosing you.
I would like that.
Did you really mean that?
Which part?
You saying that you love me? Do you love me?
Without any crumb of a doubt. And with your permission, she'll take her little rat paws and plant a cute little smooch on Pidge.
Absolutely.
A moment you'll only get to live in for the briefest of moments. For the moment your faces make connection, you hear the removal of a large cathedral door being torn off its hinges. The door resting in the paw of Giancarlo Lacerva. And he looks and sees this scene and sees everything that has transpired here, a newfound strength in him. And he says, "There you are, Calm. I think we have much to discuss."